Good afternoon, everyone. Paul Daniels here, What I Fix Daily, and today we have an iPhone 6s, which is not something I normally deal with. I usually send these off to Apple to get screen replacements because, quite frankly, it's cheaper for Apple to do it than me. But this one's a water damaged one. So it has gone through the usual process of being water damaged about, I'd say, 18 hours ago, and has been in rice, so everything's perfect now. Sorry, I was just checking my camera there. Yeah, so it's been in rice, and of course it was working perfectly good this morning, and then all of a sudden it misbehaved. It started making glitching and strange colours on the screen. Can't imagine why that would be. Oh, yeah, I'm being a bit harsh. I'm mocking and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, I should be a nicer person. But I really wish this whole rice fixes things myth would die as much as I try. Um, I'm really not a big fan of the getting the 6S open. I know some people who can just, and I guess they've got the feel for it now, and they just pop them right on open. Oh great, I don't have my second spudger. I've got a bag of spudgers around here somewhere, like 20, 30 of them, and I have no idea where I've put them. When the time comes, I will find them. I used to use heat a lot with this, but there goes Jason of SDS, who just said to me, no, just go wild. Yeah, here we go. We've got all our water up here. I will point out this is toilet water, so thank God for gloves. Toilet water. I'm not looking forward to putting any hot air on this, because one of the great things about hot air is it unleashes all the beautiful aromas. So, depending on what the person spilt on it, they'll all become deliciously aromatic once it picks up a bit of temperature. Okay, I'm just dabbing off the worst of the water here, because I don't want it flicking back into my eye. Because even if there's nothing to be worried about in the water, psychologically, getting toilet water in my eye will completely mess me up, and I will run around like a lunatic thinking I am going to die for a couple of days. Alright, so I've sufficiently contaminated this phone now with... Whoa, hands on... Come on, hands, calm down, calm down. My hands have been shaking a bit too much lately. I don't know whether it's lack of muscle tone in the arm or what, but yeah, it's not good. It's driven mostly by the anxiety. I did not scratch my nose with a bear glove there, don't worry. I used the back of my arm. So this phone, I've already told the person, it's dead. It's not going anywhere. But we would like to get the data off. So now we have a look and see how bad this is. If we're really lucky, and I am hoping this, it will just be a case of properly dry it out, and it might work just enough for me to do what I need. Interesting, all the water's pulled up here, so where would that come in? Anyone want to make comments on that? maybe through the SIM tray. Though I thought they were sealed. I already have taken the SIM out. Let's get this camera out. When it comes to these jobs, I like to minimize the amount of items, accessories that are attached to the phone. So can it go? I admit, I'm surprised there's very little corrosion in there. I would have expected from this duration of time for there to be corrosion. I wonder if we just got a dead screen. I'm just going to check under the USB port, the charge dock. That looks perfectly clear. There is a couple of drops of water down here by the vibrator. All the markers are off there. Now the question is, the battery's starting to feel a little bit iffy. So let's get this battery out. And hope to God I don't fuck this up. Come on. Easy. Easy. There we go. Oh yeah. I love that feel when it just slides on out. And of course I hate the feel when it breaks off. And so you end up with this oh crap, like that. I should not be wearing gloves while I do this. Crap, 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 grab it. Come on. Easy. There we go. Oh yeah. Marvellous. Okay, there's all water down the bottom there. Given that it's actually down the bottom of the battery, there's a chance it might still be functioning. I'll put that on the tester just now. So does this mean we've got all our corrosion and stuff on the bottom side? I really hope not. I really do just want to try my luck. I want to try my luck, plug it in, get the data off, a bit of a hit and run. Apparently there's about, what have we got there? Okay, you belong up there. As I said earlier, I haven't really got a great deal of experience on the 6S because I defer them off to other people. But in this particular case, it was, yeah, there weren't really any other options on hand at the moment. So what's the verdict? Take it out? Well, I guess I really should take this board out. I think I'll be pushing my luck too far if I don't. Okay, take the antenna connector off. Come on. Nope, don't force that. Good God, man. Come on. Finally. Why is it on video, things like that just take forever? Alright, so we've got our next magnetic pad. Let's start to clear. Let's start taking these screws out. What do we got? Blimey heck. I can hear Jason yelling at me now. So you're taking out the wrong screws, you don't need to take those ones out. Sorry, Jason. I should probably go to somewhere like iFixit and see what the disassembly process is. But I think I can make a moderately educated guess. And if it breaks, then I'll go, okay, that wasn't an educated guess, that was just stupid. Seriously, how many of these? You can tell I'm seriously thinking because I'm not talking much. Clearly I'm a moron. I don't believe I have actually removed a 6S board from the whole chassis, because if I had, I would know that this was a standoff hex nut instead of just simply some round thing. And I will admit, my eyes did not tell me that. I really thought that was round. I probably should wear glasses. But now that I'm actually getting it undone, I can see that it's a hex nut. Don't worry, I'm being delicate. There we go. Sorry, I just had a bit of an interruption there. And here we go. Board coming out. What have we got? Oh, that's... yeah. Gloves are really good, but sometimes they do get to be a bit of a pain. They get in the way, particularly in hot weather like this. They've already sweated up in spite of the air conditioner. Alright, you can see we've got there's water damage in there, and this is the yeah, that's not going to be good. That's the soft plastic and metal mesh cover. So I guess I'm going to have to pull that back and then give it a scrub out. Hopefully if we're lucky it's just this top one, nothing down here. Alright, I've got another job I've got to quickly do, and then I'll come back to this. Alright, we're back. Just had to do a screen repair on another iPhone 6. So we're trying to get this fake shield off. Just using... oops, fuck. Oops, swearing now. That's not good. Come on. I think this blade's a little blunt. Crap's sake. Fortunately, we do not have to reuse this, but nonetheless, didn't want to get too aggressive. There we go. Let's see if there's any... It actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I think what I'll do is give this a... do I even need to give it? I might give it a scrub down and then see how it behaves. Just notice we've got water spots down here. The fact that I don't see a lot of corrosion around gives me hope. There's a little bit under here. Let's see what comes up. Alright, let's try to get this thing together. Sorry, I keep getting interruptions today, making things take longer than they should. Oh, for goodness sake, get off out of there. I'm not feeling it today, not feeling it. If we're lucky, this could be as simple as a dying screen, and nothing substantial needs to be done. There's a bit of just notice there is actually a bit of corrosion now that it's dried out. So I'll just actually scrub that out with a toothbrush. So we don't really care to perfectly fix this, we just want it to work well enough that we can get the data off, and then for all we care, it can burn. There's a little bit of extra junk on there. Okay. Yeah, we got lucky. We actually have a battery symbol there. So, yeah, I will charge this battery up externally, so that if this is a bit of a time bomb, which I'm hoping it's not, if it's a bit of a time bomb, it won't be wasted sitting around waiting for the battery to charge. Let's have a look. 6S. Come on. 3.15 volts, which is a little on the low side. And I need a different charge cable. Where is my charge cable? Come on, my kingdom for a charge cable. Ah. Got it. And then into my okay, so we're, according to this, we're drawing just over an amp, which correlates roughly enough to that, about within 10%. So we are going to now wait until this is fully charged, and then I'm going to take it straight to the computer, plug it in, and do the data recovery straight up. There's no point me messing around at the moment with anything else. I think we got lucky. The damage doesn't seem to have been profoundly severe. I think a lot of it might have been coming from that corroded connector on the screen. Even still, there is corrosion elsewhere on the board, light corrosion. It may not be in the areas that we need to use to do the data recovery, but I've already told the client that once we get the data off, consider the phone a write-off, and they're already off getting a new one anyway. So I will be back later and I'll actually probably do it from the web interface. Not from the web interface. I'll do it from the console interface, and you guys can watch me get the data off. Okay, we're back. We're ready to try this iPhone 6s out. I'm just setting it up right now, off screen obviously, because I don't have a camera to show you what's going on. I've charged the battery up, and I probably really should have used a power cord and current limited setup, but yeah, I haven't finished up the workshop in that respect. Okay, I've plugged it in, it's giving me the Apple logo. Fingers crossed. I really hope it works. And if it doesn't, I'm just going to send it off to someone like Jessa. And we have a passcode screen. Awesome. Okay, let's put this passcode in. Touch actually works. What's going in? Looks like we've lost our half of our backlight. The aim trouble is, why do I not have... Doesn't look like it's talking to the PC at all. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it, it actually worked. That's quite something. And the nice thing is, now that I've written that program to unback these things, so 17, 427, unback, this should work. Oops, I don't even know how to use my own software. Previously we had to rely on the iPhone itself to do the manifest sorting out of the files, but fortunately managed to end up writing a piece of software that did it for us without needing the iPhone anymore. Unfortunately, it doesn't handle encrypted backups or whatnot, but that's not a problem. At least 99.9% of the time I haven't run into an encrypted backup. You watch, I'll probably turn up one tomorrow. So as you can see, all the files are being created. When I say created, really what it does is it just turns the fixed width file names, which you can see here, all the what do you call it, UID or GID file names, into an actual human readable file name. This is what I was talking about. Now, as far as I know, this person has about 4,000 pictures, see it's all, so this is going to take a little bit of time. Completely not very human friendly. And then when you have the manifest, you can read it and convert it into human readable type format, along with directories or folders, whatever you want to call it. So if you ever do get a backup but you don't get a manifest file with it, you don't need to panic too much, because the worst case scenario, you can go through all these nameless type nondescript code numbers, files, and if you do a file type test on it, it will tend to indicate what it is, like, you know, movie, JPEG, PNG, whatever, and you can just give it an appropriate extension and then your software will be able to read it. A lot of the images themselves will also have date codes on them, so if you use a EXIF information extraction tool, you can then furthermore sort out your images and movies. Right, so there we have it. It's all done. I just want to now see how much space it's going to use. 24 gigs, so we'll be able to put this on a 32 gig stick. The other way I can do it is I can actually put the decoded version along with the non-decoded version, this directory here, both on the same stick, and use a 64 gig. And the person should be able to, if they do it right, do a recovery to their new iPhone off that one, as far as I understand. So who knows? I'll probably do that. Put them on a 64 and let them make the choice that way. Oh, that's right. The only thing left is I've got to convert the address book. Oh. Okay, S to vCard, and again I forget my own software. What am I after here? Library, address book, SQLite. $50K, I'll consider that. Obviously I'm not going to show what's in there because it's personal addresses. The other thing I need to do is convert their SMSs into a CSV file. So it's so sad that I can't remember my own software. .2 meg of messages, so that's pretty good. Alright, we're done. I can't believe it actually happened. Thank goodness it did. Now I get paid, customers happy, everybody walks away with a smile on their face. Alright, I wanted to talk about the video that I just did with the iPhone 6 recovery, the 6S rather. That was my first iPhone 6 data recovery. I have replaced the screens on them before, I've done batteries, I've done charge ports, the usual sort of thing that doesn't require too much work. Now if you're looking through the video, and even as I've just gone back through and edited, I can see there's a lot of things that people are going to go, well, yeah, you should be doing that differently, or that's not right, or things to that effect. And I agree. I think there are a lot of things that over time you develop certain more efficient skills towards the job at hand. I also though want you to realise that at some point you do have to make the jump, and there's always going to be a first time with something. Normally I wouldn't like to be working on a phone that has data on, it's as in a customer phone for my first time situation. Unfortunately I was under a degree of pressure to get this particular task done within the next 24 hours, and there was also the fact that it was water damage, and henceforth, as all of you will know, you need to get that sorted out, at the very least, drying out as quick as possible. But it does illustrate that even if you don't have the experience on that specific model, this is it by the way, so it's all cleaned up now, you can use your experience on the previous models with a bit of, or I should say a large dosage of caution, and still get the job done. Now everything I was doing with this, I was taking into consideration that if things don't go right, I need to be able to send this off to someone else, so like, Chris, Jason, Jessa, people like that. So I'm trying my best not to do anything that would cause additional damage and make their jobs harder. And it's important to think like that, because while you do want to be experimenting and learning, trying to find out new things, you also don't want to make it excessively difficult for the person who may have to clean up your stuff-ups. So in this case I was lucky. All I had to do was just get the main board out, peel off that soft cover just to check on things. I'm just simply checking around for corrosion, looking for some obvious things. I probably would not have gone as far as removing these shields with hot air. I figure if it didn't come through good now, I would dry this out in a kiln. I know that people prefer in some cases for these things not to get dried out, but given that it will be shipped off, you know, it's sort of, you got to take the gamble. So dry it out, leave it disconnected, package it up and send it off if it was that far advanced that I couldn't get it. But we got lucky and we were able to get the data off, so I'm very happy about that. And I sort of thought there was a pretty good chance we might be able to, because as I mentioned in the video, there was very little corrosion present on it. There's a little bit under here, there's a few droplets perhaps under there. I'm really not sure what aspect was causing the delays in trying to communicate with the USB port. I don't know why after about 10-15 minutes of retrying it decided to come good and let me copy the data off. That was pure ballsy luck. If about half an hour after trying it still wasn't working, then I just would have packed it up and sent it away. So I got lucky this time. But I want you to just realise that sometimes you've got to take the risk, and if you be cautious about that risk, you still provide yourself the opportunity to send it off to someone else who may be able to handle the situation for you better if push comes to shove. It's a bit like with hard drive recoveries. I like to test the drives here first, see if they're responding. If it looks like I can get the data off that I need with a software type recovery, then I go ahead with it. If however it seems like it's going to be one of these progressive failure, head failures, things like that, then you sort of stop and you send it off to whomever. Occasionally you do get the situation, well I shouldn't really say occasionally, mostly you get the situation where you say to the client, it's going to cost you a couple of $100 more to do this job through a professional who does this. They will sort of go, screw that, my data isn't worth that much. Their invaluable data is suddenly worth no more than $200. At that point you can then re-offer to them and say, well, I can have a shot at doing it here. There's no guarantee, and you make sure you get this in writing. There's no guarantee that there'll be any success, and if I do proceed with this, there's more than likely no chance in the future for a potential recovery. And you've got to make sure they understand that bit, because otherwise you will go ahead and you will do this and you will push the device beyond a point where it can be recovered, and then they will go, actually we changed our mind, we're going to go send it off. And then they'll go, the place said that you fucked it up. So cover yourself in that respect, because you know that there is a risk that you will screw it up if you push it too far. So you need that sort of thing in writing. Anyway, we got lucky. The data came off. I'm really happy about that. I got to dig around in a 4S in more detail. A lot of people have got 4Ss here and a lot of them are failing, but unlike with the 6s and the 5s, no one seems to be giving them up. Previously, like in this sort of situation, the customer would say to me, yeah, just keep the phone because it's no good to them. But I'm finding lately that people are holding on to these things even more, stashing them in their drawers. Yeah, I suppose it's theirs, so they can do obviously what they want with it. But they don't seem to want to let go of even the junk. And I have started offering like $20-30 for these carcasses for parts. It's not a lot of money, but I'm not willing to risk much more than that. And even still, they're a little bit, so I do have a couple of good customers who routinely will drop off their equipment to me that's damaged, and I find those sort of people essential to have. I've got a room in the other side of the house here which is full of computers, laptops, all sorts of things that people have left with me. It's turning into a bit of a junk room now, but at least it's parts there for me and it has saved my bacon a few times. I'm rambling, so I'm going to finish up this video. As you probably know, I've started doing some live streams. There should be more coming up from about a week from now. Supposedly I get my 25.5 broadband, so finally I'll be able to upload at a reasonable rate. And as always, if you're wondering about the software that I use, the software I programmed, the tools I'm trying to use here, or even the tools I'm trying to get, like a microscope, I've got to save up for it. It's as simple as that. I don't have the money right now to spend $1,000 on a microscope. I have to save for it. I've pushed all my other lines of budget. This isn't something I can just go along and say, I'll put that on the credit card. That's not an option. It's got to be saved for. Yeah, so all those things, they're all in the comments below. You'll see them there. And most of you know a lot of them are Amazon affiliate links, so if you do click on them and buy anything through there, I do get a small cut, so be aware of that. If you don't like me, don't do it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you sitting through this long video, and I'll see you guys next time.